1. What's good, people? I'm going to pull a card. If anything, I'm going to pull 2 cards. So it's your job to just wait until the very end of this video. I'm giving you due, so you're going to learn a little something, and it's going to be to your greatest benefit. So the first card I'm going to pull, let's get into it. Get a load of that. The 6 of Cups, okay? Cups representing emotion, as we do know. Now, this symbol being a card of generosity, but not through a material sense, not through a tangible, material, possessive, charitable sense, but more so a charitable sense in a emotional communication, whether it be you expressing yourself in an emotional fashion and offloading some issue to somebody who is happy to be a listener, or you allow somebody to speak to you in relation to how they're truly feeling to the depths of their soul on an emotional frequency. Sometimes it can be a lot of weight to take on. Did you know psychologists have one of the highest rates of opting out of this life? And that's down to the weight they have to take on from the people whom they communicate with on a daily basis. It's not easy to hear bad news. It's not easy to take the weight on of others' problems, and we might think we don't do that, but we know we do unconsciously. We take the negative frequency of communication onto ourselves via those, especially those we love. Yeah, we don't want them to go through that or experience that. We don't want to invite that situation they're dealing with into our own lives. It can be very hard, but this is a card that says if you need to offload that energy yourself and you have a person who would be comfortable in you to do so, or if there's somebody in your life you haven't reached out to, maybe because you know they're a little bit down in the dumps and you're fearful of what the communication and conversation is going to be regarding, and you don't want to open up Pandora's box, maybe this is a sign for you to just pull yourself together and be that charitable helping hand and allow them to not take the path of these psychologists we discussed. You don't know the weight they have on their shoulders, and I'm not saying you should be there saving everyone. There's a term, and you shouldn't save the drowning man because he pulls you in with him. So you have to pick your fights carefully, but this symbol is one of emotional communication and charitable acting such, so you make sense out of that. You know what I mean. I can't tell you because you live your own independent life. Now I'm going to pull another card which correlates with this, so we might go a little more in depth and approach it from a particular angle that really starts making sense with you. As I shuffle this deck though, if you haven't done so, you do need to subscribe, as we do upload every single day. Now with that being said, the second card is this. The King of Pentacles. Righteous, regal, powerful, a leadership in the realm of material possession. So I'm not saying there's a direct correlation, but what I'm saying is quite potentially there may be some form of physical, resourceful manifestation in relation to either you speaking out your truth or you taking the time to aid others in speaking their truth. You may be gifted by that which is in relation to a transmutation of your charitable emotional communication and receive a charitable physical communication. What that might be, I don't know. Maybe a little bit of loving, if you're awaiting that. Maybe a couple of quid, if you're awaiting that. Who knows? Maybe something's on the way that you want to be on the way, but this is your sign that what you might need to do is go out there and karmically engage in fruitful, beneficial, and uplifting and offsetting conversation and communication. Let's rid of the negative energy. Let's rid of the monkey on our backs, if not the monkey on their back. We can do that. Most people don't. I'm a man, yeah? Go and speak to a man about his problems. some of them, especially them old school lot, they're going to pretend that everything's fine. We're human beings, we know it's not fine. So it might take a little bit of a hammer to the egg to get that thing open, but once it's open, allow it to flow and be there and listen with an open heart and think, you know what, I'm taking a little bit of this on, but I know how to rid of this myself. I know what I'm taking on isn't my own issue, but it's an issue of someone else's, and I will transmute that into energy in the gym. I'll go for a run, I'll go for a walk, I'll go and cuddle and take it out, you know, in the most loving sense on my pets. Yeah, let's have a play in the garden with the dog, you know. And so you tell me, you live your life, but what I'm saying is, someone out there might need help, and this is a message for you to engage with them. You know what I mean, and given that you do so, maybe, I'm not one to say you will. I'm just saying the cards are telling me you might be given something in return, alright? Because I don't want you to perceive this in a, I have to do it because I can feed my ego and, you know, sell out by being a good person. I don't want you to do the 2 and 2, but that's the message I've been given. So that's up to you. Peace.